The hall glittered with chandeliers, but all I felt was the sting of whispers slicing through me. Did you hear? Someone near the buffet giggled. She keeps saying she has a fiancé, but nobody's ever seen him. Imaginary, another voice hissed. Like a child inventing friends, I gripped my glass tighter, forcing a smile. My cheeks ached from pretending. Alina's laughter rang out. Oh, don't be too hard on her. Poor cousin just doesn't want to show up alone. I turned toward her, my pulse hammering. That's not true. Her smirk widened. Then where is he, darling? Did he vanish again into thin air? Snickers erupted. My mother avoided my eyes, fussing with her shawl. Stop it, Alina, I muttered. This is your night. Don't drag me into it. She tilted her head, glass of champagne in hand. But it's so entertaining. Every family needs a little comedy act. I clenched my fists under the table. You think it's funny humiliating me? Oh, come now, she said sweetly. We all know the truth. If he were real, he'd be here. Engagement parties bring couples together. Unless, of course, you're the only one invited. Laughter rippled again. My uncle leaned over to another guest and whispered loud enough for me to hear. She's always been dramatic. A fantasy life suits her better. Heat rose in my throat. Daniel is real, I said firmly. Alina cut me off with a mock gasp. Ah, Daniel. The mysterious ghost fiancé. How romantic. Does he appear only in moonlight? The crowd chuckled. My chest tightened. You wouldn't understand, I whispered. Try us, she challenged. Describe him again. Tall, dark, heroic. Sounds like a character from one of your books. I shot her a sharp look. You know nothing about him? She leaned closer, eyes glinting. I know enough. You talk about him, yet never show him. Admit it, cousin. He doesn't exist, my aunt joined in. We've all been patient. A year of stories and not a single introduction? It's cruel to keep lying, dear. I'm not lying, I snapped. He had reasons. Excuses, Alina said flatly. Always excuses. She raised her glass. Everyone, let's toast. To love, both real and imaginary. Glasses clinked. The laughter felt like knives. My hand shook so badly the champagne spilled onto my dress. Enough, Alina, you've made your point. Oh, sweetheart, she purred. I'm just worried about you. A woman your age inventing stories to keep up appearances. It's tragic. Tears pricked my eyes, but I swallowed them. You'll regret mocking me. Her brows arched. Is that a threat? It's the truth, I whispered. The music swelled, but I only heard the pounding of my own heart. I wanted to scream, to run, to disappear. My cousin Mira touched my arm. Don't let her get to you, she whispered gently. I turned to her, desperate. You believe me, right? She hesitated, eyes dropping. I want to. But you never bring him. Not even once. The floor seemed to tilt beneath me. You think I'd invent the man I love? Mira's silence was answer enough. I forced a shaky laugh, standing tall. Fine. You all want to think I'm pathetic? Go ahead. But one day you'll see I was never lying. Alina clapped slowly. Bravo, such conviction. Almost believable. Her fiancé David shifted uncomfortably. Alina, maybe you should stop. This is going too far. She ignored him. Oh, come now, David, she's used to it. She thrives on drama, I glared at her. No, I survive it. Don't mistake endurance for weakness. Her eyes flickered, but she recovered with a laugh. Such poetry. Shame it's wasted. The humiliation pressed down like a weight. I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. Still, I lifted my chin. I don't need your approval. I don't need anyone's, I said, my voice trembling but loud. The guests quieted. For a brief moment, my words hung in the air. Then Alina broke the silence with a cruel smile. Prove it, then. Bring him. Let us meet the man of your dreams. Or admit right now that you made it all up. My throat closed. The demand was impossible. Daniel was gone, vanished without a trace. I forced myself to speak. He will come. You'll see, Alina laughed, rich and cruel. Yes, of course. Any day now. Until then, cousin, enjoy being the punchline. The music picked up again, the party swirling around me as if nothing had happened. But inside, I shattered. I stepped outside to breathe, clutching the railing as the cold night air slapped my face. My heart throbbed. Daniel, I whispered into the dark. Where are you? Why did you leave me to face this alone? The night gave no answer, only silence, but somewhere deep inside a spark burned. A vow. I would not let this humiliation define me. One day the truth would come crashing down. And when it did, they would all regret mocking me. The memory still plays in my head like a broken record, and no matter how hard I try, I can't silence it. "Don't panic," Daniel had said that night. His sleeves rolled up as he leaned over my desk. "We'll fix this. Just breathe." I remember clutching the files, terrified. "If we don't send the report before midnight, the whole contract falls apart. It's my fault. I miscalculated." "Stop blaming yourself," he interrupted. His voice was steady, calm. "You've been carrying this team. Let me help you." I had stared at him, startled. No one ever said that to me. You'll help me?" "Of course," he said, flashing that crooked grin. "I don't let the people I care about drown." I laughed nervously. "You barely know me." "Maybe," he said softly, "but I already know enough." That night we worked side by side until dawn, trading jokes between spreadsheets and coffee cups. By morning, the crisis was over, and something in me shifted. Weeks later, he leaned across the break room table. "So when are you taking me out for saving your career?" I nearly choked on my tea. "Excuse me? You're the one who owes me lunch." "I put up with your terrible jokes all night," his eyes sparkled. "Fine, dinner then, my treat. I'll even promise to keep the jokes under control." I shook my head, smiling despite myself. "You're impossible." "And yet," he said, tapping the table, "you're saying yes." I rolled my eyes, but I didn't say no. From that night on, Daniel became a part of my life. Late-night texts, coffee runs, long walks after work where he told me about his dreams. "You work too hard," he teased once. "One day I'll steal you away and we'll travel the world. Just you and me. You're dreaming," I said, though secretly I wanted to believe him. "It's only a dream until we make it real," he whispered, and in those moments, I thought I had found something unshakable, but then he was gone. I came home one evening to silence, his jacket missing from the chair, his laugh missing from the kitchen. On the table lay only a folded note. I remember my hands trembling as I opened it. "I'm sorry. It's better this way, that was all." No explanation. No goodbye, I screamed into the empty room. "Better for who, Daniel?" "Better for who?" I called him again and again. Straight to voicemail. I texted until my phone died, begging for answers. Nothing. 2 weeks later, Alina cornered me at a family dinner. "So," she said sweetly, "where's that boyfriend you bragged about?" I froze. "He's busy." Her smirk widened. "Of course he is." "Too busy to exist, maybe?" I snapped. "He exists." "Then show him," she challenged. I had no proof. Only a note that mocked me with every word. At night, I sat on my bed gripping that slip of paper. My voice cracked as I whispered to the darkness, "Why did you leave me like this? Was I not enough?" My mother sighed when I tried to explain. "You imagined more than what was there. Men like that don't disappear without reason." "Perhaps he was never yours," I shouted. "You don't understand." "He loved me." "Then where is he now?" she asked quietly. I had no answer. Only silence. Days blurred into weeks. I stopped eating. I stopped smiling. My friends stopped calling. All I had was his ghost. One night, Mira sat beside me, holding my hand. "Please, cousin, let him go. He's not coming back." I shook my head fiercely. "He will, he has to. People don't just vanish without a word," she hesitated. "Sometimes they do. Sometimes they show who they really are." Her words stung more than she knew. I wanted to believe Daniel had reasons, that he was protecting me from something. But as the months dragged on, doubt poisoned me. Had it all been a lie? His promises, his warmth, his laughter, fabricated to pass time until he grew bored? I remember screaming into my pillow, "You swore I wasn't alone, Daniel. You swore!" But swearing meant nothing when the man who made them vanished like smoke. When Alina told people I had invented him, they believed her. Why wouldn't they? There was no evidence he had ever loved me. No photos I dared to show. No messages I hadn't already deleted in anger. Only that cursed note, and so the world branded me a liar. The wound never healed. Every joke, every whisper chipped away at me. But I carried it silently, because I had no choice. Sometimes, late at night, I'd close my eyes and hear his voice again. I don't let the people I care about drown, but he did. He let me sink, and he never reached for me again. That was the man who left me, and that was the lie I was forced to live with. The music faded, and I caught the sharp voices cutting through the laughter. Still no sign of the mystery man? One of Alina's friends sneered. Another giggled. Maybe he's allergic to crowds. Or reality. Heat rushed to my face. I gripped the edge of the table, praying they would stop. Alina's voice rose above theirs. Cousin, don't be shy. Everyone's dying to meet your fiancé, I forced out. He'll be here. Laughter burst around me. One friend leaned closer, eyes glinting. Show us proof then. A picture, a message, anything. Unless you've been catfished by your own imagination. My throat tightened. I don't owe you proof. Oh, but you do, Alina said sweetly, raising her glass. When you claim such a fairy tale, you must share the ending. I clenched my jaw. This is your engagement, not mine. Focus on your night, she smirked. It is my night. And what better entertainment than a little game? Tell us, cousin, what color are his eyes today? Blue? Green? Or does it depend on the lighting in your fantasy? More laughter. My chest burned. Stop humiliating me, I whispered. Humiliating you? She widened her eyes innocently. No, we're celebrating you. Everyone deserves a spotlight. One of her bridesmaids clapped mockingly. Yes, let's put her on stage. Give her the mic. My mother shifted uncomfortably, refusing to meet my eyes. Please, Alina, don't. But Alina had already grabbed the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, she announced, voice dripping with glee. A special moment. My cousin would like to introduce her fiancé. Isn't that right? The hall erupted with cheers and teasing whistles. My stomach twisted. I shook my head, my voice breaking. Don't do this. She pressed the mic into my hand anyway. Come now. Prove us wrong. Call him up. Let the world see your prince. The cold weight of the microphone trembled in my grasp. My palms were slick, my knees weak. I can't, I stammered. Gasps and laughter rippled through the room. Of course she can't, someone muttered. Because he isn't real. Maybe she'll sing him into existence, another joked. Alina folded her arms, smirking. What's wrong, cousin? Cat got your tongue? Or did Daniel run away again? The sound of his name on her lips felt like poison. I raised my voice, desperate. He is real! Then where is he? She shot back. The room went silent, waiting for my answer. My hands shook so hard I nearly dropped the mic. My heart screamed inside me. Why do they enjoy breaking me? Why won't anyone stand by me? I told you, I whispered, staring at the ground. He'll come. Alina laughed, sharp and cruel. A promise as empty as your ring finger. The crowd roared again. My vision blurred. For a moment, I thought I might collapse. I turned toward the doors, wishing for a miracle, wishing for escape. The laughter rose, echoing in my ears. I wanted to run, to hide, to tear that microphone from my hand and throw it across the room. But before I could move, the heavy door swung open with a crash. Every head turned. Gasps filled the hall, and in that moment, silence swallowed the mockery. The doors burst open with a loud creak. Gasps echoed through the hall. I froze, my breath trapped in my throat, and there he was. Daniel, alive, real, standing in a perfectly cut suit, eyes locked on mine. Whispers broke like waves. Is that him? He's real? Impossible. Alina's smirk collapsed into shock. No. My glass slipped from my hand, shattering on the floor. Daniel? My voice cracked. He strode forward without hesitation, each step confident. The room parted around him. When he reached me, he took my hand, kissed it lightly, and smiled. Sorry I'm late, love. Traffic was hell. The words sliced through the silence. The crowd erupted into murmurs. Alina stammered, You know her? Daniel arched a brow. Know her? She's my fiancé. Why wouldn't I? Gasps. My relatives stared, mouths open. My mother pressed a hand to her chest. Fiancé? Daniel squeezed my hand gently. Yes, didn't she tell you? The room spun around me. My voice trembled. Why are you here? He bent closer, whispering so only I could hear. Because you needed me. My knees nearly buckled. You left me, I whispered. Later, he said firmly. Not here. Then louder, he faced the crowd. What's with all the shocked faces? You all doubted her? Alina forced a laugh. You expect us to believe this isn't some act? That you're not an actor? Daniel cut her off smoothly. Cute theory. But I don't usually kiss strangers, cousin, gasps again. Eyes darted to Alina. Her face turned pale. Cousin? I blinked in confusion. What are you talking about? Daniel straightened, his tone sharp. Alina and I have met. She knows exactly who I am, Alina sputtered. That's ridiculous. I've never… Enough, Daniel said coldly. Don't lie in front of everyone. My heart thudded in my ears. Daniel, what is going on? He turned to me, his gaze softening. I'll explain. But first you need to know, you were never wrong. I was real. We were real. A wave of relief and confusion crashed over me. Tears threatened to spill, but I swallowed them. They laughed at me. They said I made you up, his jaw tightened. And now they know the truth. Alina's friends exchanged uneasy glances. One whispered, she wasn't lying. My uncle muttered, good Lord, he actually exists. Daniel looked around the room, his voice cutting like steel. So you all mocked her? Called her delusional? That's how you treat family? The silence was heavy. No one dared to answer. I tugged his sleeve, my voice trembling. Why now, Daniel? Why after everything? His eyes softened again. Because you needed someone to stand beside you tonight. And because I'm done hiding. My chest ached. Hiding from what? He didn't answer. Instead, he pulled me gently closer. Smile for me, love. Let them choke on their shame. The strength in his voice steadied me. I lifted my chin, forcing a shaky smile. For once, I wasn't the joke. For once, I wasn't alone. Alina stepped forward, desperation seeping into her tone. This doesn't prove anything. Anyone can show up in a suit and pretend. Daniel turned sharply. Pretend? He pulled out his phone, scrolling. Would a pretender have this? He held up photos, us laughing together, selfies in the park, my handwriting on notes pinned to his fridge. The crowd gasped again. Alina shook her head furiously. Fake. Edited. This is enough, Daniel snapped. His voice carried finality. You tried to bury her. You tried to paint her as insane. But tonight, every lie of yours dies. The weight of his words crashed through the room. I whispered, barely audible. You really came back. Daniel met my eyes, unwavering. I never stopped being yours. My lips trembled. Then why did you leave me? He leaned in close, his whisper hot against my ear. Because Alina forced me to. My breath caught. What? He drew back, his gaze sweeping the stunned crowd. Later. I'll tell you everything later. For now, stand tall. And somehow, with his hand holding mine, I did. For the first time in months, maybe years, I wasn't drowning. For once, I tasted victory. The hall buzzed with disbelief. Alina's voice cut through the murmurs. This is ridiculous. She probably hired you. An actor in a suit, that's all you are. Daniel smirked, unfazed. An actor? Interesting theory. Then explain this. He pulled out his phone, swiping deliberately. I frowned. Daniel, what are you… Proof, he said. He raised the screen, showing a photo of me and him on the pier at midnight, our hands locked, city lights glowing behind us. Gasps erupted. That could be edited? Alina snapped. Daniel chuckled. Sure, let's keep going. He swiped again, me laughing with ice cream smeared on my nose, him kissing my cheek. Another photo, me in his jacket, rain pouring around us. Another, my handwriting on sticky notes covering his fridge. Don't forget lunch. Good luck today. Proud of you, my aunt whispered. That's her handwriting. Alina's friends shifted uncomfortably, but Daniel wasn't done. Maybe pictures aren't enough for you. How about this? He tapped a video. My own voice filled the speakers. Daniel, stop recording me. I look terrible. You look perfect. His voice teased from behind the camera. I laughed nervously in the clip, covering my face. The room fell silent. Alina barked, Coincidence? Anyone can fake… Daniel cut her off, pulling a folder from his jacket. Receipts. Flights we took. Hotels we stayed in. Our joint reservations. Credit card transactions. Dates, places, times. Want me to go on? He spread them on the table. Pages of undeniable proof. My mother clutched her chest. Oh my God. It's all true, my uncle muttered. We mocked her. All this time? Alina's face twisted. This proves nothing. You're desperate, both of you. Probably plotted this to humiliate me. I finally found my voice, sharp and trembling. Why would I humiliate myself for years just to set you up tonight? You wanted me to look like a fool, Alina, but the only fool here is you. Gasps filled the air. Daniel's expression hardened. Shall I tell them why I left? My heart clenched. Daniel. He looked at me, pain flashing in his eyes. They deserve the truth. You deserve the truth, Alina hissed. Don't you dare. Daniel raised his voice. She threatened me. Your golden cousin. The crowd erupted. I stepped back, dizzy. What do you mean? He turned to me, his voice steady. She cornered me. Said if I didn't disappear, she'd spread lies about you. That you were unstable, obsessed, desperate. That she'd destroy your reputation. I thought leaving would protect you. The words slammed into me like a storm. You left because of her? His jaw tightened. I didn't want to, but she made it clear she wouldn't stop until you were ruined. I thought vanishing would silence her. Alina's voice shook. Lies! He's making this up! Daniel pulled up one last file on his phone. A recording. Alina's voice hissed from the speaker. If you don't end things with her, I'll make sure everyone thinks she's insane. Walk away or I'll bury her myself. The room froze. David, Alina's fiancé, turned pale. Alina? What the hell is this? She stammered. That's edited. Daniel's glare was ice. Edited? Your voice, your threats, your venom? Try again. I pressed my hand to my mouth, shaking. My cousin, my own blood, had done this to me. Why? I whispered, my voice breaking. Why would you do that to me, Alina? Her eyes darted wildly. Because everything was supposed to be mine. You always acted like you deserved more. I wasn't going to let you win. David stepped back, disgust on his face. You're unbelievable. Alina's mask cracked. No, don't believe them. She's manipulating you all. But no one laughed this time. No one defended her. I felt my body trembling, rage and heartbreak tangled inside me. My voice came out low but fierce. You stole my peace. You made me a laughingstock. And for what? So you could keep your crown as the perfect daughter? Alina's silence was answer enough. For years, I thought Daniel had betrayed me. But now, staring at the proof, I realized the betrayal had been so much closer. My blood ran cold. My own cousin had destroyed me. Alina's scream shattered the hall. Lies, all lies. None of this is true. Daniel's voice cut through her shrill tone. Really? Should I play the rest of the recordings? Her eyes darted wildly. No, those are fake. You edited them. He lifted his phone again. Then explain this one. He pressed play. Her voice hissed from the speaker. If you think I'll let her shine while I fade, you're a fool. She's nothing compared to me. Walk away from her or I'll make her a laughingstock. Gasps erupted. I felt my body tremble. That's your voice, Alina. I know it, my cousin sneered, desperate. You're all being manipulated. He twisted my words. Daniel shook his head. No one twisted anything. You wanted me for yourself. And when I refused, you decided to ruin her. Whispers broke around us. She wanted him? Someone muttered. My knees nearly buckled. You wanted Daniel? Alina's face burned red. He was supposed to be mine. Everything should have been mine. Do you know how it feels to always be compared to you? To watch you get attention when I worked harder? My stomach twisted. Compared to me? Alina, they praised you. You were the golden one. I was the joke. You think so? She snapped. You think being pitied is worse than being envied? At least they didn't call you a puppet, or whisper that your smile was fake. Daniel's tone was icy. So you destroyed her to soothe your jealousy? Alina pointed at me, furious. She was never supposed to win. I stepped back, my voice breaking. Win what? I never competed with you. You were my family. I trusted you. The betrayal burned sharper than any wound. Every memory of her smirk, every whisper she spread, it all collided inside me. My mother's voice shook. Alina, tell me this isn't true. But Alina only laughed bitterly. Of course you'd believe her now. She's finally found her knight to parade around, Daniel snapped. Enough. He scrolled again, holding up messages. Here, her texts to me. Threats, bribes, manipulations. Should I read them aloud? Alina lunged forward, trying to grab his phone. Stop it. David caught her wrist, his face pale. You sent those? Her voice faltered. I only wanted... You wanted what? I demanded, my chest heaving. To see me broken? To watch me drown while you stood on the shore? She glared at me, eyes wild. Yes. I wanted you to feel small, the way I always felt when people looked at you. My heart cracked. I was mocked for years, Alina. Mocked because of you. And you knew. You let them laugh. You fed them the lies. She said nothing. Tears blurred my vision, but I refused to fall. You told them he didn't exist. You told them I was insane. And they believed you, my uncle muttered, horrified. We did believe her. My mother covered her mouth, tears streaming. God forgive me, I doubted my own daughter. I turned to her, voice raw. You let their words crush me. Every time I tried to defend myself, you looked away. Do you know what that did to me? Her voice broke. I thought I was protecting you. I didn't know. Daniel's grip tightened on my hand. They should have known. They should have trusted you. I stared at my family, the people who watched me suffer in silence. You all laughed with her. Every whisper, every joke, it carved into me. And I pointed at Alina. She smiled while I bled. The hall was silent, heavy with shame. David stepped away from Alina, disgust plain on his face. I can't marry someone like you. Her eyes widened. David, wait, no, he snapped. You humiliated your own blood. You blackmailed the man she loved. What kind of person does that? Alina reached for him, but he pulled back. We're done, she gasped, trembling. You can't just walk away. I can, he said coldly, turning his back. The room rippled with shock. I looked at Alina, shaking with fury and heartbreak. You destroyed me to feel powerful. But all you did was reveal your own weakness. Her lips trembled, but no words came. I stepped forward, my voice clear. Listen well, Alina, you will never control me again. Not with your lies, not with your envy, not with your poison. I'm finished letting you decide who I am. The words poured from me like fire, my voice rising above the silence. For years I bent under your shadow. Tonight I break free. Alina's eyes filled with tears, but I felt no pity. Daniel whispered against my ear. That's the strength I always knew you had. My heart ached, but I stood taller. No more chains, Daniel. Not hers, not anyone's. I faced the room, my voice steady. You all mocked me. But tonight you see the truth. I am not your joke. I am not your shadow, and I will never let her, or any of you, define me again. The hall was silent. Even the music had stopped. For the first time in my life, I felt free. The hall exploded in noise. Voices clashed, gasps and whispers tumbling over each other like fire spreading through dry grass. David's voice cut through it. Alina, tell me this isn't true. She grabbed his arm desperately. They're lying. He's lying. She's manipulating you. Daniel's voice rose sharp as steel. I brought evidence. Recordings, receipts, everything. Stop pretending. David pulled his arm away. You tricked me into believing you were honest. All this time? Alina cried out, No, you don't understand. I did it for us. For us? David's laugh was bitter. You destroyed your own cousin's life. You lied to everyone. That's not love, Alina. That's poison, guests whispered, horrified. All these years. She fooled us. The golden girl? Nothing but lies. I clutched the edge of the table to keep from collapsing. My head spun. How could you do this to me? My voice trembled, but it rose above the noise. Alina whirled toward me, her mascara streaked. Because you were always in the way. Always the pity project, always the tragic story everyone coddled. I wanted something for myself. You wanted Daniel, I said bitterly. She screamed, Yes. I wanted him. And when he chose you, I swore I'd take everything else instead. The room gasped. Daniel's voice was low, dangerous. You never had a chance with me, Alina. I don't want cruelty. I don't want envy. I wanted her. My chest ached hearing him say it, but the memory of his leaving sliced deeper. David's voice trembled with rage. You disgust me. Alina grabbed his sleeve again. David, please, he shoved her hand away. We're finished. Her cry echoed, sharp and broken. No, don't leave me like this. But he turned and walked out, the heavy doors slamming behind him. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, spreading the scandal like wildfire. She's ruined. He left her. She brought this on herself. Alina staggered back, glaring at me with wild, desperate eyes. This is your fault. You and your perfect act. You ruined everything. My throat tightened. No, Alina, you ruined yourself. She lunged at me, but Daniel stepped between us. Don't touch her. Her voice cracked, dripping venom. You think you've won? This isn't over. I stared at her trembling frame. For years she had been untouchable, adored, untarnished. Now she was exposed, stripped bare, but my victory felt hollow. My hands shook. My chest ached with more than relief. It ached with the weight of choice. Daniel turned to me gently. "It's over now. She can't hurt you anymore." I looked at him, my vision blurred with tears. "Is it over, Daniel? Or just the beginning of more pain?" He froze. "What do you mean?" My voice broke. "You left me. You abandoned me when I needed you most. Do you know what that did to me?" His face twisted with guilt. "I thought I was protecting you." "You thought wrong." My voice cracked, raw and jagged. The guests fell silent, all eyes on us now. "You let her win. You let me suffer while you disappeared. How can you stand here and act like that didn't matter?" Daniel stepped closer, his voice low. "Because I still love you. Because every day I was gone, I hated myself for it." Tears spilled down my cheeks. "Love isn't leaving someone to drown. Love is staying, even when it's hard," he whispered, almost pleading. "Then let me stay now. Let me fix it." I shook my head, torn in two. "I don't know if you can." Alina's bitter laugh cut through the air. "Pathetic. Both of you. You think you're better than me? You're nothing. He'll break you again. He'll leave again. And then what will you be? Alone, as always." I turned on her, my voice steady despite the tears. "I'd rather be alone than chained to lies. At least my scars are honest. Can you say the same?" She faltered, lips trembling, but no words came. Daniel touched my arm softly. "Please, don't push me away. Not after everything." I stared at him, my heart split. Part of me wanted to fall into his arms, to believe him, to erase the pain. But another part whispered louder, fiercer, "Choose yourself." I closed my eyes, breathing hard. My tears dripped onto my hands. "I can't answer you now. I can't pretend the wound you left isn't still bleeding." His voice broke. "Then let me stop the bleeding." I stepped back, shaking my head. "No, I need to stop it myself." The room was silent, all eyes fixed on me. My heart pounded, but my voice grew stronger. For years, I let others decide my worth. Tonight, that ends. I'm done letting lies define me. I'm done letting abandonment chain me. I choose me. Gasps rippled again. Daniel whispered, broken. "If that's what you need, I'll wait. As long as it takes." I wiped my tears, lifting my chin. "Then wait. But don't expect me to depend on you again. I'll stand on my own." The crowd watched, wide-eyed. Even Alina, crumbling in her own disgrace, had no words left. I turned, walking away from the wreckage of the night. My legs trembled, but my heart felt lighter. For the first time, I was not clinging to anyone else. Not to Alina's shadow, not to Daniel's promises, only to myself. The fallout came faster than I imagined. David's voice still echoed in my head from that night. "We're finished." And true to his word, within days, the engagement was gone. When I saw Alina again, her eyes were hollow. She cornered me at our grandmother's house, her voice trembling. "Please, talk to him for me. Convince David to come back. You know he still respects you?" I stared at her, stunned. "You think I'd save you after everything you did to me?" Her lips quivered. "I made a mistake. I was jealous, I was angry. You destroyed me," I snapped. "That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice." Tears spilled down her face. "I've lost everything. The wedding, the family's respect. Please, cousin, you're the only one who can help me." I shook my head. "No, you asked for this. You dug your own grave. Now lie in it." Her sobs filled the room, but I felt no pity. For once, the pain wasn't mine. Later, my mother whispered, "She's been calling every night, begging me to defend her." "And?" I asked, her eyes softened with guilt. "I told her I can't. Not after what she did to you." I swallowed hard. "Thank you." But even as karma unraveled Alina's life, Daniel reappeared, persistent as ever. He showed up at the cafe where I sat one morning. "May I sit?" he asked, his voice cautious. I didn't look up from my cup. "You already are," he exhaled slowly. "You're angry." "Of course I'm angry." My hands trembled around the mug. "You left me, Daniel. You left me when I needed you most." His voice was low. "I left because she threatened you. I thought vanishing was the only way to keep you safe." "Safe?" I scoffed. "Do you know what happened while you were gone? They mocked me. They said you didn't exist. And my throat tightened. I almost believed them." Pain flickered in his eyes. "I was wrong." I see that now. Please, let me make it right. I shook my head. You can't erase the damage. I can try, he pleaded. I can spend the rest of my life proving to you that I'll never leave again. I looked at him, torn. And what if I can't trust you? What if next time you decide disappearing is easier than staying? He reached for my hand. Then I'll keep proving myself until you believe me. I pulled away. No, Daniel. I don't need proof anymore. Not from you, not from anyone. He looked stricken. What do you mean? I mean, I don't live for your promises anymore, I said softly. My worth isn't tied to you standing beside me. It never was. I just didn't see it before. Silence hung between us. His eyes glistened, but he didn't argue. Finally, he whispered, So this is goodbye? I breathed deeply. Maybe not forever, but for now, yes. I need to stand on my own. He nodded slowly, pain etched on his face. Then I'll wait, even if it takes a lifetime. I rose, leaving him with his coffee untouched. As I stepped into the sunlight, a strange calm filled me. Later that week, Alina tried again, cornering me after a family dinner. Please, just tell them I'm not a monster. Please. I looked her in the eye. You wanted me powerless. You laughed when I broke. Now you're broken and you want my hand. But I'm not giving it. That's karma, Alina. Live with it. Her face crumpled, and she turned away. I watched her go, my heart heavy but firm. For the first time, I realized my journey had never been about proving myself with a man or even defeating Alina. It was about reclaiming me, and at last, I had. Daniel showed up at my door again, eyes tired but burning with determination. Please, just hear me out, he said. I crossed my arms. I've heard enough, he shook his head. No, not enough. I made a mistake leaving. I thought I was protecting you, but all I did was hurt you. Give me one chance to prove I can be the man you need. I stared at him, my chest tight. You think saving me at that party erases the months of silence? The nights I cried wondering if I imagined you? His voice cracked. No, but I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it. I whispered. That's not what I need anymore. His brows furrowed. Then what do you need? To breathe without waiting for someone to vanish. He flinched. So you're choosing to walk away? I'm choosing me, I said firmly. Before he could answer, my mother stepped into the hall. He loves you. Can't you forgive him? He stood up for you when no one else did. I turned to her, my voice steady. And where were you, Mother, when they mocked me? When they laughed in my face? You stayed silent. Don't tell me to forgive so quickly. Her eyes filled with shame. I was wrong. I see that now. But he's trying. I cut her off. I'm not looking for someone to save me anymore. I don't need Daniel to prove I exist. I don't need anyone. Daniel's voice trembled. So this is it? After everything? I looked into his eyes, the same eyes I once trusted with all my heart. Thank you for defending me. Thank you for exposing her lies. But I can't go back to who I was. I won't chain myself to someone who already left once. He swallowed hard, his voice breaking. I'll wait. Even if it takes years, I'll wait. I shook my head. Don't wait for me. Live your life. I'll live mine. My aunt, standing nearby, whispered. Child, are you sure? Love like his... I turned to her sharply. Love isn't disappearing when it matters most. Love is staying even when it's hard. He didn't stay. The silence that followed was heavy. Daniel finally exhaled, his shoulders slumping. If this is what you want, I won't fight you anymore. Just know I never stopped loving you. I blinked back tears. And I never stopped hurting because of you. That's why I can't go back. He lowered his gaze, whispered, Goodbye, love, and walked away. The door closed behind him, and I stood frozen. My family stared at me, uncertain. My uncle cleared his throat. You're strong. Stronger than any of us gave you credit for. I faced them, my voice steady. I don't need applause. I don't need approval. I only need my own peace. My mother reached for my hand. I want to make things right with you. I looked at her carefully. Then don't push me toward a man I can't trust. Support me in choosing myself. Her eyes filled with tears. I will. I promise. For the first time in years, I believed her. That night, as I sat alone by the window, Mira slipped into the room. You did the right thing, she said softly. Did I? I asked, my voice trembling. Yes. You didn't let him or anyone else define you. That's strength, cousin, I smiled faintly. Strength doesn't feel like victory. It feels like scars. Scars prove you survived, Mira whispered. Her words sank deep into me. I pressed my hand against the glass, staring at the night sky. For so long, I had thought freedom would come from revenge or redemption. But now I saw it clearly. Freedom came from walking away. Mira sat across from me in the cafe, stirring her tea slowly. You look different, she said. I raised a brow. Different how? Lighter, she replied. Like you finally set something down. I let out a breath. I did. I set them both down. Alina, Daniel, all of it. She tilted her head. And how does it feel? I sipped my coffee, the warmth steadying me. Strange. Empty, but free. Empty isn't bad, she said. It means you've cleared space for something better. I smiled faintly. For myself, she grinned. Exactly. Later that evening, my mother came to my room. She stood by the door, hesitant. May I sit? I nodded. Of course, she sat, her eyes heavy with regret. I failed you. I didn't protect you from their words, from Alina's cruelty. I let myself believe lies. I swallowed hard. You did, and it hurt more than anything else. But I can't carry that weight forever. Tears filled her eyes. Can you ever forgive me? I met her gaze. Forgiveness isn't the same as forgetting. But yes, I can, because I don't want to be chained to anger anymore. She reached for my hand. You've grown stronger than I ever imagined. I squeezed her fingers lightly. I had no choice. The next day, Daniel called. His voice was quiet on the phone. How are you? I'm fine, I answered. You don't sound fine. I'm not broken either, I said firmly. Silence stretched before he whispered, I still love you. I closed my eyes, listening to the ache in his words. I know, but I love myself more now. And that means I can't go back. His breath hitched. So this is really the end? Yes, I said softly. For both our sakes, he exhaled. Then goodbye. Goodbye, Daniel. I hung up, my chest heavy yet clear. That night, Alina appeared at my door. Her face was pale, her eyes swollen. Please, she whispered, don't hate me. I've lost everything. I just need someone. I stared at her, torn between old wounds and new strength. You wanted me to be nothing, Alina. You laughed when they mocked me. You took pride in breaking me. Her lips trembled. I was wrong. I know, I said. But I don't need your apology. I don't need anything from you. And you'll get nothing from me. Her shoulders sagged as she turned away. When the door closed, Mira asked quietly, No forgiveness? I shook my head. Forgiveness is freedom. But trust? That's gone. She has no place in my future, Mira nodded. Then you've chosen peace. Yes, I whispered. Peace, even if it means letting go. The following week, I walked alone through the park where Daniel and I once spent nights dreaming. The air was crisp, the sky wide and endless. I whispered to myself. I was mocked, betrayed, abandoned. But I rose again. Children laughed in the distance. Couples strolled hand in hand. For once, I didn't feel envy or emptiness. I felt whole. I sat on a bench, pulling out a small notebook. On the first page, I wrote, My beginning starts here. The words made me smile. I spoke them aloud, softly, so only the wind could hear. They mocked me once, but now I don't need anyone's approval. My worth is mine alone. For the first time, I believed it. And with that, I closed the book, stood tall, and stepped into my own future.